As soon as a natural or man-made disaster impacts a company, you can bet next year's budget will include risk mitigation spending in an attempt to ensure those consequences don't happen again. Unfortunately, by nature, we need to experience losses to stir our survival instincts that'll drive risk mitigation spending into the corporate budget. Due to our neurological blind spot to risk that we have not experienced, we need analytics to inform these risk mitigation decisions. But not just any logically sound analytics. You'll need pro-enterprise management analytics to understand the true return on investment for climate change preparedness and business resilience spending. An important question is, how much risk liability is the company holding given the oil platform retrofit projects are not pursued? Over 40 oil platforms were under consideration for a retrofit project. Without any of the retrofit projects pursued, and accounting for the tipping point probabilities and the 10-50-90 narrative-based assessments, oil platform number 42 has the greatest expected risk liability at about $46 million as measured in today's dollars. There is only a 10% chance this risk will have an enterprise value loss impact greater than $59 million. Oil platform number 27 has the second greatest expected risk liability at about $34 million. The portfolio of the top 7 risk liabilities results in an expected risk liability of about $193 million, with only a 10% chance of these risk liabilities summing to over $246 million. Any investment made in the corporation should either be deemed as a must-have, such as for maintenance, or continuity of business operations, or a corporate strategic objective enabler. Otherwise, they should compete with all other discretionary investments and therefore require an accurate enterprise return on investment. For an enterprise risk management program, once the must-have spends have been identified for funding, all other discretionary investments should compete for resources based on enterprise value. As discussed in part 2 of this video series, we use the return on investment measure called investment productivity as the primary measure for prioritizing discretionary investments. To construct a draft discretionary enterprise risk management budget for oil platform retrofit projects, we will start by ordering the potential retrofit projects from the most productive down to the least productive. Notice how large the spread is in investment productivity from over 2 down to less than 0.1, which is the typical spread you'll find for these types of spending, but you won't have this insight without pro-enterprise management analytics. This prioritization of 7 oil platform retrofit investments includes oil platform number 7, which we evaluated in Part 1 and Part 2. The second column in the table accumulates the total investment as retrofit projects are added to the budget, and the third column is accumulating the enterprise value created and or protected as retrofit projects are added to the budget. There are always budgetary and staffing constraints, and so the executives must make the trade-off on their willingness to invest in oil platform retrofit projects and their requisite staffing support versus the enterprise value created or protected by the investments. This analysis makes these trade-offs explicit, just what the CFO needs and should demand. As an example, a discretionary enterprise risk management oil platform retrofit budget of about $37.5 million creates and or protects about $51.2 million in enterprise value as measured in today's dollars. This would imply pursuing all of the retrofit projects with an investment productivity of 0.75 or more. Once a sufficient decision frame is established for a pro item, such as a retrofit investment, and the associated numerical assessments are made and checked for quality and validity, it is rare for the investment productivity values to significantly vary. That is, if the investment productivity is challenged and reviewed, a pro item's investment productivity may vary by up to about 20%. However, and importantly, this variation rarely changes the prioritization order. Translating this information into a graph, we see the typical diminishing return on investments shape associated with an investment productivity curve. In the end, the overall enterprise risk management oil platform retrofit budget includes all of the must-have spends plus the chosen discretionary spends. This graph is used to prime the discussion on decisions regarding which retrofit investments to fund. That is, this graph represents the starting point of the debate to finalize the enterprise risk management oil platform retrofit budget. Investments in oil platform retrofit projects compete for resources with all other corporate discretionary spending. The competition should be based on enterprise value creation and/or protection. Understanding both the enterprise value created and/or protected by the successful implementation of a climate change preparedness project or business resilience plan is the only means to calculating a true return on investment. Pro enterprise management analytics do just that, and therefore all significant expenditures on climate change preparedness should be evaluated by the means introduced in this video series. Contact us and apply Pro Enterprise Management Analytics to determine your best value climate change preparedness plan or business resilience plan. For more information, check out our website and pick up a copy of my latest book, Problem, Risk, and Opportunity Enterprise Management.